Frequency Podcast Network. Stories that matter, podcasts that resonate.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is backing U.S. and Israeli military action in Iran, but he's not going all in on his support for the strikes. Hi, I'm Virjesh Dave. This is Big Headlines, everything you need to know to be in the know in just 5 minutes. Prime Minister Mark Carney says he supports the U.S. and Israel's airstrikes on Iran, but that support comes with regret. He says the strikes may have broken international law. Carney made the comments during a speech on Wednesday, and in that speech, he also argued many of the world's middle powers could benefit from working more closely with one another.
Europe, Australia, Canada, Japan, South Korea. This coalition has a GDP larger than the United States, 3 times the trade flows of China.
Carney says Canada and Australia share the advantages of legitimacy and trust.
We respect our commitments. When we sign deals, we honor them. When we join multilateral efforts, we multiply their impact. Other countries know we mean what we say and value our partnership. Contrast, the hegemons can compel, but that comes with costs, both reputational and financial. Change through compulsion doesn't last.
This is Carney's second stop on his trade trip following 4 days in India. Japan's the third and final country he'll visit. Speaking at the Pentagon, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth indicated the U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran won't let up anytime soon.
More and larger waves are coming. We are just getting started. We are accelerating, not decelerating. Iran's capabilities are evaporating by the hour.
Hegseth says American and Israeli air forces will have complete control of Iran's skies within a week. He also says the U.S. sunk an Iranian warship. U.S. and Israeli airstrikes continued to hit Tehran and other Iranian cities on the 5th day of conflict as Iran struck Israel and countries across the Middle East with missile barrages and drone attacks. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is in Berlin to give a speech. It's his first official trip abroad as opposition leader. Yesterday, he was in London, where he met with UK Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch, who's also the UK opposition leader. In a speech there, Poilievre called for stronger trade and security ties between Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and the UK.
A pact that opens our economies, removes barriers, recognizes credentials, expands skilled labor mobility, and deepens capital markets. Cooperation that helps us build stronger militaries and keep our countries safe from shared threats like China, Russia, and others.
The Conservative Party is paying for this trip. Also making big headlines, it's nearly been a month since the Tumbler Ridge mass shooting, and BC's chief coroner is calling for an inquest to prevent similar tragedies in the future. The inquest would look at the circumstances surrounding the shooter, Jessie Van Rootselaar, and the 8 other people she killed. Dr. Jatinder Bedwan says it'll also consider how mental health services and public safety systems work together to support people experiencing complex mental health issues. Van Rootselaar was transgender, and Dr. Bedwan indicated that could factor into the inquest.
Including broader issues of community awareness, education and support, and matters relating to gender diversity where relevant to the evidence.
The inquest could also look at how information is shared between online platforms. OpenAI has actually faced criticism after it emerged that the company internally flagged troubling online activity by Van Rootselaar, but did not report it to police. The man who caused the Humboldt Broncos bus crash could be removed from this country within weeks. Jaskirat Singh Sidhu was behind the wheel of a semi-truck that blew through a stop sign and crashed into a bus carrying a junior hockey team in Saskatchewan back in 2018. 16 players and staff were killed and 13 others were injured. Sidhu's permanent residency was revoked in 2024, a year after he was granted parole. His legal team tells the CBC that he has just weeks left until a removal order is set to be carried out that would see him deported to India. He says he's fighting the order, saying he doesn't want to leave his wife and young children. In response to concerns about why the deportation process is coming so long after the crash, the Border Services Agency tells the CBC it first deals with deportations that involve organized crime and national security. If you haven't listened yet, today on the Big Story podcast, why is Alberta blaming its identity crisis on immigrants? Host Karen Siolan speaks with Stephen Carter, a veteran campaign manager in Alberta.
I mean, how much is immigration actually contributing to the problem where Alberta's finances are concerned right now?
Virtually none is the answer. I mean, we are educating an awful lot of children. I mean, for example, there's a school in Calgary that has over 70 different languages that are spoken as a first language. That is a burden upon the system. I will concede that. It is a burden upon the system, but it turns into such a wonderful outcome when people are integrated into Canada. The truth of the matter is that immigration is not the economic burden upon Alberta. The economic burden upon Alberta is that we have chosen to rely on our revenue resources, our resource revenues, as our primary means of funding government, and those revenues go up and down a lot. And ironically, they are as high as they have ever been, and we are still running a $10 billion deficit. That $10 billion deficit has nothing, underline nothing, to do with the immigration status.
You can listen to the full episode wherever you get your podcasts. Now you're in the know. Thank you for listening to Big Headlines. Make sure you follow, share, and review Big Headlines. Today's episode was produced by Felix Slew. Enrica Amaturo is our lead producer. I'm Virjesh Dave. Have an amazing day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.